How do you prospect successful entrepreneurs?
Well, first of all, when we're talking about prospecting, it's not about presenting the business opportunity or the products. Prospecting is about making the connections with people that you don't know. So whether they are entrepreneurs or regular people, prospecting is about finding out who they are, what their interests are, and what do they want. And then you can, from what they answer you, you can see whether we have a fit for them. So we are offering solutions for people, whether it's products or business. So whether it's entrepreneurs or regular people, they all have different needs. And it's your job to determine if there's a fit or not.
So I love that. But once you've introduced them to the business opportunity, whatever the case is, you help them find that fit. What are some things that you do to follow up with them after your initial conversation?
Okay. So once I found someone who have interest in the business, then I said that we are launching a technology and we're expanding in this area and we're looking for business-minded people to help market and expand the product lines and the business in this area. And if you're interested, I would either invite them to go to a business presentation, go to a product expo, or go out for a one-on-one to present the whole business presentation.
Thank you, Ann. Next question. So what info do you send to a prospect before that face-to-face meeting?
Well, it depends what is it that they want. Don't forget that once you go out and you do talk to people, it's about finding what they need and sending out what they need. Because sometimes when you talk to people, they say, send me something. So when you go home, you send everything you have. You send product, you send video, you send comp plan, you send every single thing that you have. But it is our job to determine what is it that they need. Sometimes they say, send me a video. Well, I would ask, what video do you want? Do you want video about the products? Do you want video about the science? Or do you want video about the business structure? Or what is it that they want? So there's not a single video that we send out all the time. Depends on who you talk to and what they want from you, and you send that particular video.
Perfect. So you've done a great job at creating a great team culture. It seems like everyone feels like they're part of the Ann Nguyen family that's in your organization. What do you do? What are some things that you do to build more than just a business, but to build a family?
Well, I think family is about caring, it's about finding the needs, it's about being there for each other. So we make that very clear from day one that when you sign up with us, it's not about business that you sign up with. It's a family that you're getting into, and we take care of one another. Of course, it's not my job to really hold their hand throughout the journey, but they know that once they come in, they have all the support they need, whether it's through a conference call, through a team bonding event, through a huge event, whatever it is, we want to make sure that they feel welcome. And we also prep our leaders. When we go to events, we want to make sure that new people feel welcome by having leaders come and talk to them, ask them how they're doing, so treat them like family. And I think it's easy to forget that this is a family business. It's not just a business, but family business. So keeping that in mind, that you're building a family, you know what to do, because you all have family. You know how you treat your family members and how you care for them. So make sure when you sponsor somebody into this business, you care for them as well.
That's great. So a common answer people might get from prospects as they're introducing the business is, they're just too busy right now. They've got too much on their plate. What are some things you do to help overcome that objection?
People are always busy. If they're watching TV, they're busy. So when I am listening to all this, it's just an excuse. It's just one of the rejection that they give you just to say, hey, shoot, go away. I don't want to listen to anymore. So I would reflect on what I said. But most of the time when we hear those, it's because we haven't done a good job of asking them what they need. So you're giving them wrong information. So either they think that they cannot sell your products, they think your product is too high, the price too high, or they think that's just more than they could do. So they give you a rejection. But if you know what they need, you present your point based on their needs, then it's more likely that they would say yes. But when you're hearing all these different rejections, it's just their way of saying, no, whatever you told me didn't make sense. So if you told them differently, perhaps they would listen to it differently, because we've seen this in the past. Somebody make a presentation, the person say no. Someone else comes along and say something else, and the person say yes. So it's not the other person, it's you and how you present it. If I don't like hamburger, you keep coming to me and give me one, I wouldn't eat it, right? And if I don't like lobster and you love it so much, you give it to me, I say, no, that's not for me. And maybe at first you feel so confused. This is so good, why they say no? But if you knew what they needed, then you give them what they want. So tell them what they need to hear, give them what they want instead of what you have.
That's great. That leads into another question we received. How do you determine the best points to lead with? There's so many great things about Nu Skin, the compensation plan, the business opportunity, our products, our science. How do you best determine what to lead with when you're introducing this to new people?
That's very interesting. So yesterday we went to a restaurant, and when we go into a restaurant, a server would come out and say, these are our daily special, these are our recommendation. But they're not saying that this is the best thing, you've got to have this, right? So when you go to a restaurant, that's how you experience. The restaurant would have like 100 different items on the menu, and then the server would have to ask you, what do you need today? Do you feel like eating pork, chicken, beef, seafood, or what is it that you want? So again, going back to that very fundamental part, caring about other people, ask them what they need, give them what they want instead of what you have. So if you're a server, you're not going to tell your customer, this is the best thing on the menu, you've got to have it, right? You have to ask them what is it that they want. So it's the same thing with us. We can introduce the product for the skincare, we can introduce the product for the nutritions, right? The vitamins, or we can introduce the business opportunity. And even on the business opportunity, you don't tell everybody, hey, come on in here and make $50,000 a month. Right? Everybody have very different needs. Some people might just want $2,000 a month. So not knowing what they need, you might come in with the wrong items on the menu. And they're going to reject you. Okay, so make sure, ask them what they need.
Thank you so much. This has been great. One final question. What advice would you give to people that might have some hesitancy in reaching out and talking to people, that might be scared of prospecting? What final advice would you give to them?
Well, we live in a modern world. There's so many ways to connect. And if you know that success in this business requires that you connect to other people, perhaps we set a goal, very simple goal, to start to make friends. Because when you're thinking you have to go out there and make the sales, then it's hard, right? If you're not trained in sales, that's even harder. So perhaps your first step would be, when you go to a grocery store, say hello to the clerk. Say, hey, how are you? What's your name? Right? Just make friends with people, and that's how you start. Set a goal. Let's say you set a goal to make one new friend today. Whether you'll go to a coffee shop, a restaurant, or somewhere, just set a goal to make a new friend. And when you're more comfortable, you make 2 friends. And when you're more comfortable, you ask how you're doing, why are you here? And then the more experience you have, the more comfortable you have, then you can have a deeper conversation, and from that you can find out their needs, and then you can determine whether we have what they need.
This has been very insightful. Thank you, Ann Nguyen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.